James Crumpton from Command Recruitment, meeting with Glen Coutinho. Glen, thank you very much
for taking the time.
Pleasure. The way we work is basically we get some pretty common questions coming from agents in the marketplace as well about successful culture, successful offices, and how to basically build and maintain successful teams. So what we really want to start off with is what your background is in real estate.
So, well, I've been 26 years now in the business, so seems like a lifetime. And started my career originally at Boroondara in my younger days, and then went on to there to open a Hockey Field franchise, which was fantastic, and I had that for 15 years. And then we rebranded the business to Edgar probably a couple of years ago now.
Okay, beautiful. And so, what do you feel in terms of an employer-employee, and even in terms of competitors in the market, would set you at Edgar Boroondara apart from your competitors?
Well, look, I like to think there's a massive difference, but you know, there's probably 3 or 4 agencies in this area that we know pretty well. They're all pretty good guys, and they do a good job. So do we. And you know, point of difference is basically people choose the individual a lot, and that's what it comes down to. And you know, we like to say we're better than the other guys, and they say they're better than us. But it just comes down to they like you or they don't like you, and you know, we get on pretty well with most of our competitors, and there's plenty to go around, so which is good.
Healthy competitive.
Yeah, I think it's important.
One of the other questions, and one of the common things that we find is some directors are quite hands-on in terms of building their teams and employing their staff. Some prefer to have a pretty significant HR structure that people go through and then sort of come on at the last minute. How do you? What sort of structure do you have?
I'll just go and get the HR guy. Here I am. No, that's me. Look, we just we do most of our recruiting ourselves. Because salespeople often don't get referred to us. We go out and find them in the marketplace, or they come to us and we train them, but we don't often get one from HR. I can't think of the last one we've got, but always open.
Yeah, definitely. And when you're saying about obviously finding it for yourself or people coming to you, when you're looking at people, do you prefer experience, or would you prefer someone with the right attitude, or both?
Look, a bit of both, but attitude's hard to teach. So we basically look for people with a really positive, focused mindset. It helps if they're broke, but then they can work hard. And people that are committed and invested in the area. So we like people that live in the patch. Kids at private schools is a bonus because they have to pay the bills, so they need to work hard. And you know, we've got quite a few of my staff are ex-vendors of mine that want to get this
a bit of a change.
Got quite a few divorcees, which is fantastic in real estate because they don't have anyone else nagging them and they can get on with their business. So, you know, they're the sort of people we go looking for, but we want them to be vested in the area. They're no good if they're really wealthy. They don't.
And I think in a market that's difficult to attract, not just attract but retain the right staff. How do you go about creating a point of difference of Edgar as an employer? Obviously, aside from the fact that you're here, how do you go about it, attracting people in a market that's quite tight and retaining people?
Look, I think one of the good things about our brand is it does let us into the top end of the market very comfortably, and people that want to sell, because you work just as hard on a flat as you do on a 2 million house. So people that want to sell some of the bigger houses can get a good shot at it at this type of business. And Edgar don't have any boundaries, so that's that's probably one of the reasons I
So no patches?
No, they don't have patches. So I've just sold one in Mount Eliza, Sandringham, one came up in Sandringham, I've done one in Brighton. I'm going anywhere, and that's what I wanted as an estate agent. A lot of people like that, they don't like the traditional patches. Some like it works for them. But the freedom's good.
And in terms of culture, office culture, I mean, we're always going to say that the team all gets along and everyone loves each other and those sorts of things. How do you find the cultures with this office? You've probably got a lot of different people mixed in sort of the mould here as well.
It's nice to say. You'd like to think that everyone says we've got a great team, but that's crap. No one's look, the thing is, I've got 2 brother-in-laws in the business that are partners, Nick and Paul. We've been together for 15 years. I've got a sister-in-law, another sister-in-law, a couple of nieces, nephew. So there's plenty of family in the business. And then I've quite a few of our guys have been with us for a decade. So we've got a good team, and good sales guys come and go. If you get 5 years out of a good salesman, that's fantastic. And then they go, and generally when they say they promise you they're never going to leave, they normally go. So that's okay. I do the same thing. So you can't really hold grudges because I've moved, and everyone wants to go and do their own thing. That's fine. Our core business is here. We've been here for a while. We own the building. I think that's important that we're solid in this location. And then, you know, we don't have any rules and regulations with our sales guys. We just let them do that. We've got a couple of guys and women that work from home that, you know, juggle kids and real estate.
Life commitments.
Yeah, they don't come in very often. They come in once a week, and that's fine with us. We're pretty casual about that.
Yeah.
As long as we can sell a couple of houses.
Exactly, as long as they get the job done. How do you think that the culture that you have here, obviously the flexibility you have and the office culture, how do you feel that that's attributed to the success of Party in Boroondara?
I think for people that don't quite fit the mould, there are some people that need to be regimented and they may not fit here, but if they don't quite fit the mould and they like the flexibility and they've got other things in their life to manage, it works really well for them. So if you're running a business where you're meeting 4 or 5 times a week, we're not that sort of business. And that doesn't work for mum with 4 kids who's got to pick 4 kids up and do real estate at the same time. We've got a couple of those out here too. So the flexibility is good, and there are some really good people who just want to be free to run their life and run their business at the same time.
I think one of the benefits of having a team of high performers is the fact that, I mean, they know what they need to do to make sure that they're successful in the business, and having the flexibility as an employer to not be too hands-on and letting them run with the thing that works best for them is probably really good.
Yeah, and I find that people work better with less pressure put on them. Just let them do their own thing. We give them guidance of this is what we do. Follow or don't follow, but this is what we do and it works. So if you do it, it'll work for you.
My boss tried that and I was in bed till 10 o'clock every day. Doesn't quite work for everybody, but you know. And do you organise any types of social events? Because I know obviously, like most companies, there's things on the social calendar throughout the year, mid-season, end of financial year and those sorts of things.
Yeah, look, to be honest, no. It's not that we don't like our stuff, we just don't have time. Most of us, I've got 5 children, I've barely got time to attend my own.
We see photos of them all the time. Very proud father.
So. Look, I've barely got time to do anything, so I suppose we have our Christmas party and end of the year lunch and a couple of things, but we see each other all the time, 6 days a week. That's probably, we try to board each other on the 7th, you know.
Yeah, okay. And I guess with limited things on a social calendar to obviously have all the team together and to spend time as a team, how important do you think it is to make sure that people are going to these things like your end of financial year and the Christmas party?
They all come because they want to come. We would never force anyone to come, but they all come. But it crosses over a lot because, you know, a lot of us have got kids at school together, and a lot of us see each other. You know, we say goodbye at work and then pick the kids up to school. So, or we're in the same footy side, or we've got kids in the same soccer side. So, you know, 6 days a week you're working auction, next day you're standing on the soccer field with one of the other guys at work, and we just try and avoid talking about work at the time, you know. Yeah,
okay, so I mean, coming from that, you're saying it's probably important to switch off at times as well and understand when the time is to talk about business and when the time is to not talk about business.
Yeah, that's right, And especially when you've got a lot of family in the business. Last thing we do at Christmas dinner was talking about that last deal. So, you know, we probably rarely talk about it, you know.
Yeah, I'll be talking about some of the big ones though, like, you know, if we've been tipping over 3 mil, I always make sure I'm reminding people of that, even if they are family.
Just suddenly.
And how big emphasis do you put on training and ongoing training? And obviously you do have quite experienced people on board that have been with the team for quite a while. For people that come on that are a bit different, that don't quite have the experience or...
Look, most of the people we go looking for, generally we want a couple of years, at least a year under their belts, but we don't have to train them with the basics, because we don't have time to give them the basics training. But if they've got a bit of sales skill and they've had some time in real estate and they come into our system, then we have a meeting once a week. It's a pretty good training session, they get a few ideas and it's all hands-on. And then our RTM will have a couple of sessions a year, and then there's other things that they can go to of their own choice if they want. But you know, the opportunity is there for anyone who wants to take it. Whether they do it or not, it's up to them.
Yeah, 100%. That's all the questions we really have. So one thing I probably always ask for is a final thought about yourself, about the office, and about your overall, I guess, ideas on creating the right culture in offices. So.
Well, I think the thing about an office like real estate is because most people are commission-based, you really have to create a hunting mentality. And that's one of the things that we do, is that we just have to think about the chase. That's our business. If you're not a good chaser, you're not going to make it in real estate. So you have to be a chaser. You have to be used to getting knocked back a lot, because you can get knocked back 6 times in a row if someone says yes, I'll leave you here, and that's all part of it. And you have to be a lover of people. People say you like real estate. I'm not really big on houses, but I do like people, and most of my staff, you know, we create that love culture to clients and spoil them rotten. We try very hard to spoil our clients rotten with chocolates and flowers and gifts and just nice things that we like doing with people. 1%ers, and they come back to us. And I've got clients that come back to me after 20, 22, 25 years. And it's hard to have somebody remember you for 25 years. You know, you can barely remember your wife that long, let alone a client. So you want people to come back to you and say, you were great 23 years ago.
Mind you, if you did sell their house, they definitely remember who you were.
Yeah, they do, yeah. Well, look, even so, there are people that we do business with now that we didn't sell for a decade ago, but we did it well, parted well, and you've got to part well when you lose too, and I think that's a pretty important avenue to our business. And then, you know, I mean, we've got a really good admin staff that support the team, and they're all very friendly, and that's what it's about. It's just trying to work together. Everyone has their own life to lead, but you come together as a culture, and then you vanish and do your own thing.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for your time.
That's it. No worries. Yeah, my pleasure.